Attention, all citizens. Attention, all citizens. Stand by for an important announcement from the President of the Society. This announcement will bring you the result of the deliberations of the World Federation Council. Attention, all citizens.
How much time do I have?
6 seconds, sir.
5. My fellow citizens.
2. 1.
My fellow citizens, it is with a heavy heart that I bring you the findings of the Council. After deliberating in continuous session for the last 4 months in unceasing efforts to find a solution to the devastating problem of overpopulation threatening to destroy what remains of our planet, the World Federation Council has considered and rejected all halfway measures advanced by the various regional scientific congresses. We have also rejected proposals for selective euthanasia and mass sterilization. Knowing the sacrifices that our decision will entail, the World Council has nevertheless reached a unanimous decision. I quote, "Because it has been agreed by the nations of the world that the Earth can no longer sustain a continuously increasing population, as of today, the 1st of January, we join with all other nations of the world in the following edict. Childbearing is herewith forbidden. The conception of a child shall be the gravest of crimes, punishable by death. Women now pregnant will report to local hospitals for registration. I earnestly request your cooperation in this effort to assure the last hope for survival of the human race."
BE before edict. Electronic imprint is fine.
John Graham, 7734575.
John Graham, 7734575.
Handle it gently. You won't be seeing any more of these for 30 years.
Welcome to Babyland. This is the first day of the rest of your lives, and only the beginning of the happiness we know awaits you. When the ever-open doors welcome you to Babyland, we promise you fulfillment. You come to us as a man and a woman. You leave as a family, the proud parents of your own little boy or little girl. Today, your lives will change. A little stranger will transform them. They will be fuller and more rewarding than you ever imagined possible. A Babyland child is a happy child.
After all, we've had 8 years to improve on the original model. At the time of the edict, they were hardly more than toys. But since then, what enormous progress we've made. They're all designed to be either playful or cranky. Real tears. Body temperature, 98.6. Except when illness strikes. They're designed to go through the whole range of childhood diseases. Nothing serious, just enough to keep Mother constantly on her toes.
She's darling, but don't you have a younger one?
Sorry, we're out of infants. They just can't make them fast enough. Our trade-ins have been sluggish. Some mothers can't stand to see their little ones grow up.
Oh, come on, lady, make up your mind. We've been waiting here all day.
Well, we'll take her.
Do you have a name for her? We need a name so we can program her.
Bonnie, after my mother.
Research is pleased to announce that increasingly large areas of the world seas
Carol!
again support flex.
Carol!
This is a major breakthrough for the Society's unceasing efforts to be
Carol, I'm sorry.
as a potential source of
I'm
food.
sorry too.
If these
It's all
efforts
right.
succeed, in years to come, our
Let's not go
caloric
home just
allowance will be increased to as much as 2,500 calories per day per citizen. And it is curfew time for all citizens in the 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. rotation. Please proceed to your assigned cubicle.
I wonder what the hamburger Monte Cristo would taste like.
Same as the spaghetti bolognese.
Maybe we should have the beef stroganoff, a la old Vienna.
Transgressors reported in Sector 15. Transgressors reported in
No,
Sector
please, you've got to
15.
believe me. He's a baby. He's too small for his age. He's lying.
They all say that.
You're right.
No, it's the same story.
He's
He's lying.
for his age.
Come here, boy. Stand there.
He is age. He doesn't look age. He is age. He's too small for his age. He's lying. Oh, please don't hurt him.
Stand back.
No, please. It's a fake.
You can't fake this, lady.
You see, I told you. He's age. He's too small for his age. Come on, son.
Report for the mass participation section of your syllabus. The survival of the fittest, man must be fit to survive. And for the amusement of your young ones, cartoons will be shown at 5 p.m. For those junior citizens on the 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. rotation, these cartoons can be seen before they tune in to their video study councils. For the more athletic among you, the Minister for Sport and the Council for Citizens' Entertainment wishes to...
You may remove your atmospheric shield, as the museum has made every effort for your comfort.
Only a few ahead of us, Mommy.
We're getting there.
How long did you have to wait?
4 years. 4 years for just 1 hour.
The society's concern for your entertainment and education. Welcome to State Museum number 42.
Hey, there's a line here, mister.
Stay in line, please. Allow the museum personnel to pass through.
Domestic and non-domestic animals, the vegetable garden, the pond,
Next
and
couple.
the 20th century life
Come on.
Although we know you will find all of the exhibits fascinating, may we request that you make your viewing selection at the central desk and keep moving. Others are waiting in line to share your happy experience. The flora and fauna on show here are either the result of a ceaseless search on your behalf or have been artificially cultivated on the premises by members of our laboratory staff. Almost all of the species have been extinct since the end of the 20th century. Many of the fascinating replicas of marine and animal life may appear frightening to children, but we assure each parent there is no cause for alarm. In fact, many of these animals, although totally unproductive, were kept as domestic pets and bought as playmates for 20th century children. These animals contributed nothing, were not a source of food. Our museum houses the largest collection of flowers on this continent. These aesthetic objects have been hydroponically cultivated, and hence it has been impossible to recreate their former aromatic properties. These flowers, pleasing
Gasoline pump
a major contributory factor
and pour
was the internal
gasoline
combustion
into this car.
Massive and indiscriminate
Which is also
intake
from the
of
1970s.
food, much of it eaten for
And that's
taste
all there was to
sensation
it.
alone, was a principal source of health hazard. Sweet substances caused grave disorders of the teeth, and remedial surgery had to be conducted with primitive instruments. These surgeons were called dentists. However, the true cause of our present atmospheric condition was the unrealistic and inept policies of the leaders of industry. The crimes committed by them were further perpetrated by the political and religious leaders who irresponsibly allowed the equally devastating crime of overpopulation. During the last
Time check. The time is 13:55. Will all museum officials report to their designated posts?
Nothing was done. and humanity suffered the Great Famine and the Small Blanket Age.
Well, that's our 1971 exhibition for today. Hope you enjoyed yourselves and saw some interesting things. Now, Russ and George will take you to the Pond Pavilion, where you'll see some bodies of water that were known as lakes and ponds. Some contained edible fish now extinct. As you know, during the spatial crisis, these bodies of water were filled in to make room for housing.
Irrespective of nutritive value, food was absorbed in huge quantities. Specific times of the day were set aside for the intake of this food, and the replenishment of corporal energy was sometimes turned into a social event. These events were even conducted out of doors, without any precautions taken to shield their activities. Although it seems ridiculous to us, provided as we are by the society with a calorically calculated balanced diet, these people were almost criminally addicted to food. These 20th century specimens took food for granted and ate indiscriminately, although during those times half the world population was underfed. It appears barbarous to us, but until the end of the 20th century, food was served on open plates. Meat was allowed, even encouraged, to be hung until it began to rot. Makes you shudder, doesn't it? Cheese was not considered a great delicacy unless a crust of mold had formed around it. Not unexpectedly, these eating habits contributed greatly to the general degeneracy of 20th century man. His health was poor. Disorders of the stomach, and can you wonder at it? Obesity, cardiac strain, thrombosis. All the conditions arrested, corrected, and finally abolished by the society's rigorous and protracted efforts on your behalf. If these people seem happy to you, it can only be because they considered ignorance to be bliss. They allowed their addiction every license, swallowed poisons without a care for the morrow or their fellow men. Initiates of this eating cult made great play of the trappings you have just seen. Plates were decorated, painted, and sometimes gilded. Eating utensils were often of silver and used time and again, without the sterilization which you take for granted now.